So I was going to tell you about my fall bucket list because I was making that today, and then I was like, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to give you guys 100 ideas for your fall bucket list. So this pretty much includes everything I have on my personal bucket list, but it also includes so many things that you guys might want to do. I wanted to make them really cozy ideas, and when I was going over my summer bucket list, I realized I had a lot of ideas that took a lot of effort. And although I do have some bigger ideas on this bucket list, I wanted a lot of them to be really easy and achievable so you guys can implement them into your regular days during fall. There's a lot of things that you can do on a rainy day, or to enjoy the weather changing, or just to make the most of the seasonal activities, so let's get into it. Number one is to go on a drive to look at the changing leaves. I'm not going to talk too much about all of them, but I just wanted to say this is the first time I've lived in a place that has really changing leaves, and it's the beginning of September when I'm filming this, and I can already see some red leaves behind the camera, and I am so excited. For context, I live in Ottawa and we're really close to both Vermont and Autumnal Park, which are both really famous for their fall leaves, and I am so excited to do this. The second one is go to a pumpkin patch. You could also make a homemade apple pie. This is definitely something I want to try and I've never done before. Also in the apple theme, and there'll be a lot of apple things. I've never done this. I really want to go apple picking. Okay, I have a TikTok about this, but you should also definitely try and make a pumpkin spice latte at home. Obviously you can carve pumpkins, but also you should try painting pumpkins as well. It's a little bit less messy. You can decorate your house or your room for fall. I already have a couple decorations and I'm excited to do more of this. You can watch an autumnal movie. Some recommendations I have for you guys are Twilight, The Craft, and Practical Magic. Oh, and Halloween Town. You should definitely try make cinnamon rolls, and also you have to read a fall book. I have a whole video coming out about books for your fall TBR, but I do have some recommendations. For example, you can read a book that is set in the fall, so I think The Dead Romantics is really good, or also The Ex-Hex. You could also read a dark academia themed book like The Secret History or The Atlas Six. You should also try apple tasting, whether you do this at home or an apple festival. I did this for the first time last year, and if you want to do it at home, just buy a bunch of different flavors of apples and kind of just try them all out and see the differences. It's actually so cool. But I went to the apple festival at UBC in Vancouver last year, so if you're in Vancouver, definitely check that out, or just keep an eye out for apple festivals around you. You could also try knitting, and I also really love pressing leaves. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm constantly pressing plants and I have so many from over the years, and I think getting some fall colors in there would be so fun. You should try making jam as well. I personally really want to try chia jam. Definitely if you can organize a Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving dinner. I'm already organizing mine even though it's the beginning of September, and I am so excited. Definitely go to the farmers market. It is the harvest season, and fall is kind of the last time you can go to the farmers market this year. You can also try and make hot chocolate from scratch, and you can try out different chocolates and different flavors. This is a personal favorite, but definitely have a board games night. It's so wholesome and so fun, especially with the colder weather. I just did this. You should try and make homemade caramel. It's actually way easier than it seems. You could also go stargazing, whether you drive out somewhere where there's less light pollution. You can also check out a light pollution map to see where's best. Keep an eye out for any space events or meteor showers happening near you. I also really want to watch the sunrise, and I think this is a lot more achievable with the sun rising later in the colder weather. For a rainy day, you should definitely visit a museum. I have so many nice ones around me, and I'm sure every town has some kind of local museum. I also really want to visit a local farm, and something I've been doing recently is listening to a playlist to romanticize the season. You can also make your own playlist. Definitely make some soup from scratch at home. I definitely want to make a butternut squash soup or a carrot and ginger soup. Another great activity for a rainy cold day is pottery painting. Jake and I really want to go to one in Ottawa. Obviously, fall is the season of gratitude, so I think you should make a list of things you're grateful for one day. Obviously, if you're of age, you should visit a brewery. That would be so fun. I also think in the colder weather, going to an art gallery is just so fun as well. You should also do a fall themed self-care day, and I actually have a vlog of this coming out, I believe later this month, but you can do things like light some fall candles, use some fall themed bath bombs, and do a face mask, and just get really cozy at home. You should definitely try and make homemade granola. This is so good. I don't even try buy it from the store anymore. It's just so good and easy at home. And also you should research some like local history and visit a local historic site to you. Definitely try baking apples if you haven't already. They're one of my favorite desserts. Also, I failed at this last year, but you should try making a pumpkin pie. If there's any wineries near you, you should definitely go visit one. I've never crocheted before, but I have a project that I want to start and I want to do this fall, and I'm very excited to do that. If you haven't seen my bullet journaling videos, I'm obsessed with bullet journaling, and I think fall is the perfect season to start bullet journaling. You should also try embroidery. I was doing this last year and it's just so fun and wholesome and fulfilling. I really want to get back into yoga this fall, and if you haven't tried it already, you should definitely try it out. You could also make a copycat Starbucks drink, again with the pumpkin spice latte, but they have a bunch of cool ones. The apple crisp macchiato or an iced chai with a pumpkin cold foam. You can make all of these at home. If there's one near you, visit Corn Maze. I hope I get to do this year. Do an at-home chocolate tasting or find one in your city. When I lived in Vancouver, I did this with a bunch of our neighbours and it was incredible. I still tell people about it to this day, but you could also just go buy some nice chocolates from the store and do a proper tasting, look up the tasting notes and look up some pairings even. Go check out the seasonal candles at Bath & Body Works, at Winners and all the other stores. I know even my local supermarket has a bunch. Making muffins is such a fun fall activity, and also I have one of these. I want to do a paint by numbers. I also think fall is a perfect time to get your life together, so if you don't have a Notion already, you should create a Notion page, or if you do have a Notion page, this is your sign to organize your Notion page. Again, with things I love doing, you should definitely make a reading journal. It's so crafty and fun, and I also just think it's such a cozy hobby for fall. So I know picnics are a summer thing, but imagine having warm drinks and get some cozy blankets and sit outside in the crisp air. You should definitely have an autumnal picnic. I did this so much in university and I love looking back at them. You should make a physical photo album, whether that's printing out your photos or using a camera to take a bunch of photos, but make sure you have somewhere to organize them. And then I used to write like who was in the photo and a little comment next to all of them, and honestly years later it is the most amazing thing to look back on. Obviously it's fall, there is no better time to start planning your Halloween costume, and you can make this a really fun activity as well. In my autumn reset, I worked on my fall vision board, and I really recommend doing seasonal vision boards, so you should definitely try it out. Making a fall vision board. I've mentioned a lot about different kinds of tastings. Obviously with the cold weather, we're all drinking tea, so maybe get a couple different types, use some small cups or just pour less into a cup, and do a bit of a tea tasting at home and try all different kinds of tea. But not including this into your routine already, you should definitely try this out at least one day during the fall. But when you wake up, you should immediately make a list of things you're grateful for that day. On my Etsy, I actually sell some morning pages which you can print off or use digitally, and that has gratitude in it, because I think it's such a lovely thing to start your day off with, and I love doing it in the mornings as well. You should definitely do a fall themed everything shower. So as girls, we all know what the everything shower is. You're washing your hair, you're scrubbing your body, you're cleaning everything, you're listening to music, the scents are great. So get some fall themed essential oils, go to Winners, find a pumpkin body scrub, listen to some autumnal music and do a fall everything shower. You should definitely try out calligraphy. I love this hobby. Hand lettering is just so fun and it's so cozy. You could also host a paint and sip or do one by yourself where you paint, and you can just pick up some paints from Dollarama. Jake and I are definitely going to do that soon, and you could either have some wine or some cocktails or just a nice mocktail or juice, or a cup of tea would work so well with this. You should create a skincare routine for the cold weather. Obviously transitioning from summer to winter, we're in autumn, the transitional month. You have to change your skincare as the weather gets colder and your skin might get drier, so why not plan that out and do a bit of research. Have a digital detox, no scrolling, no phones day. You should also definitely dress up for Halloween. Don't let the magic of the season bypass you because you're too busy or you're too old. I'm definitely dressing up for Halloween and everyone should. Spend some time inside and learn a new skill. Really good platforms for this. Skillshare, who I've actually done a sponsorship with before, they are incredible. I've also seen tons of things for masterclass, and there's so much free content on YouTube as well. Just search something up you want to learn. Do a campfire or a fire pit. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I've done them before when I was camping and back in the UK, but also make sure to check for fire bans and be safe when you're doing this. You should definitely declutter your closet as well and donate any clothes that you want to get rid of. I know Christmas is a while away, but you should start writing out some gift ideas for people you really care about. Get prepared, and this is also just kind of a gratitude thing, thinking about the people you really care about and who you want to get presents for. You should definitely decorate some spooky cookies for Halloween. And also, I personally love dedicating an entire afternoon to just browsing at the bookstore. I used to do this a ton in university. If you get flowers, or you could buy flowers particularly for this, you should actually dry them out and you can keep them forever, and they're such pretty decoration. You could also read a thriller novel, whether that's like a cozy mystery or more of like a scary thriller horror, but that's perfect for the season. And also, this is a small one, but just wear a cozy sweater. That could be something on your bucket list, because I know that's something with the end of summer I was looking forward to so much, because I just love sweater weather and autumnal fashion. You should also definitely give out candy on Halloween if you can. I think this is going to be my first year doing it. I really hope some people come by, but it's the first year I've had the opportunity to, and I'm so excited to give out some candy. You should also definitely make stewed apples. I've been seeing so much about this on TikTok. It's meant to be a really gut healthy dessert and treat, and it's also super seasonal. Talking about seasonal, you should just try cook with seasonal produce. Definitely also cook with some butternut squash. My favorite recipe with that is butternut squash mac and cheese. I also really like cooking with spaghetti squash as well. You should definitely also read outside while the weather is more mild and crisp. And I would love to do this. I really want to make a full wreath for my door. You should also definitely try either make a bird feeder or just buy one. There's plenty at Dollarama and everything like that, and it's so lovely to watch all the birds. This is kind of something back to school specific, but you should definitely join a club or a team, and even if you're not at school, just joining a team or a club or something going on in your area, it's just something for you to do and stay social during the colder months. One time you should definitely romanticize your dinner by having a candlelit dinner. Talking about dinner, you should definitely make a roast dinner. This is such like a weekly thing in the UK, but to me they're such like cold weather food. So if you haven't made a roast dinner before, you should really try it. And even if you're not from the UK, I highly recommend looking up how to make Yorkshire puddings. You should also definitely go on a walk in a forest if you have one near you, or just like a nice park and tree-lined area. Roasting marshmallows is such a fall thing, making s'mores, and don't forget they're not vegetarian, so if you're veggie like me, I really like the brand Dandies. Try doing some yoga or Pilates outside, some nice slow intentional movements, and enjoying the crisp weather. You should also definitely DIY something for your Halloween costume. Like I mentioned earlier, planning your costume, but why not make something yourself? Talking about cooking again, you should try cook something from one of your favorite TV shows or movies. I know I mentioned my digital declutter earlier, but while we're at it, you guys should do a digital declutter. I talk all about it in my video, but fall is the perfect time for getting your life together. If you don't do this already, you should definitely try annotating a book this fall. And I don't know if this is more of a European thing, but if you haven't roasted some chestnuts yet, you should definitely try that. This might be a bit more niche, and I mention this because chestnuts can be foraged, but you should look up a foraging guide for your area and see if there's anything you can pick. Talking about your local area, you should also research animals local to your area and try keep an eye out for them. And I know I mentioned decluttering your closet, but you should also organize your closet, which is something I did in my life reset. Basically just putting all your summer clothes away or to the back of your closet and putting your cold weather clothes at the front of your closet so it's ready for the season. This is one of my favorite drinks, but you should definitely try making mulled cider. I've never had these and I was so excited to try them this year. I just want to eat some apple cider donuts. You should also try playing a cozy video game. I looked up some recommendations and my personal favorite is The Sims, but people also recommended A Night in the Woods, or I know my boyfriend loves the video game Unpacking. And number 100, something you can do this fall is make a fall bucket list if you haven't already. I hope this video gave you some inspiration for your fall bucket list. I'm definitely so inspired and so excited for the season. Comment something you want to do this fall down below. I would love to hear what you guys are planning on doing. And I have lots of full content and vlogs on my channel if you guys do want to check them out. And if you did like this video, please do like, and just thank you again so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time, so please do subscribe if you do want to see me again. And yeah, just thank you again so much for watching.